And I've learned an incredible amount from Phil and Steve. The staff at Phil's Gang gives platinum level service and stock recommendations. You know, it's as simple as that. At the end of a month or so, I've always been in the black. Phil's Gang is a class act. I'm happy to be a member.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grandy can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
And welcome to Phil's Gang, Coast to Coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. Well, the market, you're starting to see a rotation. You're seeing the tech stock getting hit. I told you this was going to happen. What we're having is a rotation out of tech stocks, as I've been telling my members all along, that these tech stocks we've been in for a long time, I said they're just about had it. Because you're not going to get professionals, the big institutions who make this market, move along and sustainable. They're not going to pay $31 for every $1 earnings. That's what the tech stocks are. Some 32. Who's going to pay $32 for every $1 of earnings? The tech stocks are just too high. The valuations are insane. And the S&P, if you take the valuations, you just have the S&P take all the other stocks out. Even the S&P is still too high, even if you take out the 7 magnificent stocks. But what we're seeing today is a rotation. Money is coming out of the tech stocks, and they're starting to go into value stocks. And that's all you're going to be hearing. Buy value stocks, buy value stocks. But you just don't jump into Johnson & Johnson, okay? You don't jump into Goldman Sachs or United Health or McDonald's. You'll get killed. You got to buy these stocks right and at the right time, just like we did. Like right now, for example, we bought all these tech stocks, the best ones, and now we started to take money out of them, and the Magnificent Seven, which actually were just 5 stocks we stayed with. Really, I'll put them up here for us. Let's see. Yeah, we stayed with Microsoft, and I think Microsoft, Apple, Meta, the ones. Nvidia was one of our best ones, and Amazon. And then when they started to get too lofty, we turned around and said, let's take some of that money and put it into our travel stocks. And now our travel stocks are getting ready to short. So you're seeing a whole rotation now. Now for those people who are just as these stocks are ready to turn over, they're buying and they're going to get killed. That's how it works. That's why 85% of people in the stock market lose money. Because now a lot of people are going to start jumping in. They can't help themselves. They haven't been in the market, and now this happens every market. Now they're going to jump in and start buying tech stocks just as they're starting to go down. They're going to start buying the travel stocks, the airline stocks. I mean, we did terrific with NCLH and CCL. Those are cruise lines. And we did terrific with American Airlines and Alaskan Airlines. But remember, we rotated into them. We took money from our tech stocks, okay, that we had big gains, and then moved it over to these stocks that nobody wanted. And then we took money from those stocks, and then we started to put them into, I think it was banks were next, and then oil, and we kept rotating them. Now we're rotating the other way. Now we're going to start shorting them. See, if you don't have the ability to short, you're screwed, because you're just going to sit there and get killed. See, there's only a few stocks right now. When you look and see the Dow is up 205 points or 206 points, people don't realize there's only a few stocks that's causing that to happen. There's not a lot there's about 4 or 5 of them. I think that's about it. There was Johnson & Johnson, Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, which are in both of those. Let's see, Walmart, Honeywell, and that's really about it. United Health, United Health. So you other than Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan, the banks, you got about 4 stocks. That's it. That's what's driving. That's why we're up 202 points. But look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq's down 285 points. And so the people who are getting into the 5 big stocks or the 7 magnificent stocks, you're going to get killed. Okay, so what you got to do right now is just got to lay back in the woods a little bit here. And here's the thing that's really, really bad. They do this every time, and they're doing it again now. Right before the dot-com crash, right before the housing finance crash, and now we're in the QE crash. We're coming upon the QE crash. But in the dot-com and the housing crash, right before, they always say, all bad news is good news. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing. They're saying that all bad news is good news. that the market's not going to go down. It's different this time. And what they're saying is that it's different because the banks are even bigger than they were before. In 2009, remember, they made the banks so big, too big to fail. And even now, they're even bigger. And these banks, they're thinking, oh, well, they're not going to fail. So the market's not going to fail. And we got some real serious stuff going on, but they're trying to convince you that it's not going to happen this time because the banks are going to be right there. They're going to get bailed out, and the government's going to bail out everybody. It's not going to happen. We have right now, if you think about it, take the regional banks. Now, after SVB and Republic and Signature, those failed. There's an additional 181 banks that have failed on top of those three. But you don't hear it. You don't hear it. It's like those three banks, it's it, it's over. That's what they want you to think, that it's over. It was just three banks. There's 181. Now, there's another 722 banks that are teetering. But nobody wants to tell you that either. Now, these banks would have already dropped if it wasn't for their new program. So they have this program right now, if I can remember the name of it. It's about $2 trillion they shoved into it. And it's, I think I have it here. What is it? BTFT, I think it is. Okay, let me find it. Bank Term Funding Program. Just got it. Bank Term Funding. So they put $2 trillion in this thing. And yeah, here it is. $2 trillion. In the Bank Term Funding Program. Who comes up with these stupid names? Bank Term Funding Program. $2 trillion. Wait a minute. $2 trillion. If you take all the banks in the country, not talking about the branches, take all the banks, which is about 8,000 of them, there's only about $3 trillion in equity. $3 trillion. If you put them all together. So, or we should say liquidity. So they're printing already $2 trillion so they can save these banks. And that's why they're saying, don't worry. We're going to have a soft landing. There's not going to be a recession. That's what they're talking about because the government printed this $2 trillion. It's printed money. But guess what? When you print money, it causes inflation. But everybody believes that this $2 trillion that the banks printed, it's going to save all these regional banks. And it's not. And they're masking this. Like nothing's wrong with these regional banks. There's a lot wrong. When you have over 700 banks teetering on bankruptcy, and the only thing that's keeping them from going bankrupt is a program where they printed $2 trillion, which is causing inflation, which has caused the whole problem. I mean that's just absolutely ridiculous. But this is what you're going to hear. No, everything's going to be just fine. It's going to be different this time. No, it's not. When we get back, we're going to talk about the commercial real estate. That's showing its ugly head. Nobody wants to talk about that either. That's going to be just fine, too. They're going to bail all them out, too.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you start making money, please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. With the PhilsGang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at PhilsGang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At PhilsGang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And PhilsGang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the PhilsGang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at PhilsGang.com. That's PhilsGang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and PhilsGang.com, you can. PhilsGang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With PhilsGang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to PhilsGang.com. PhilsGang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
I think there is still an opportunity for investors that have missed this move, Scott, to get in.
Are you kidding me? Can you imagine telling people that? So where are they going to get in? I mean, you had to get in Meta when we got into Meta. You going to get in Meta now? Meta's up 145%. You're going to get into NVIDIA? NVIDIA is up about 200%. Apple, 54%. Microsoft, 71%. Why would you buy them now? Why didn't you buy them earlier? People don't do that. Investors always wait to the end. And these are the guys that get you right here. And these are the guys that are telling you right now, okay, everything's fine. It doesn't matter all this bad news. It doesn't matter at all that the commercial real estate is going upside down. We have troubled assets now up to 155 billion. The commercial real estate is going to really take these banks down. These, this all could have been avoided. It all could have been avoided. I mean, you don't stay with 0% interest rates where you're loaning people, let's say investors who buy commercial real estate, loan them money at 2.5%, 3%, even 5%. I mean, 2.5%, 3%. And then all of a sudden you run it up to 5%, 6%. The banks can't do that. And expect not to get hit with defaults. This is crazy. It's unbelievable.
And so with the equity market up here at a 20 forward multiple, I mean, we've got the Infotech Index. It's led the rally this year at over a 28 forward multiple. We haven't seen that since the end of 2021, just before a more than 30% collapse in that index.
So he's trying to be careful. The other guys, get it at the top. And listen to this.
We've taken up our targets also primarily because the recession is nowhere in sight.
Can you believe that? Recession is nowhere in sight. We're in a recession.
If we look at the yield curve, we've got an unprecedented inversion here, and it's deep and it's been very persistent. The 10-year to 1-year Treasury spread, which is the one that we focus on, we're 12 months into an inversion now. So typically recessions have occurred 12 to 14 months post-inversion, but sometimes it's 18. We've even had a few that are closer to 2 years. So to declare the coast clear, because payroll growth has been positive this year and the equity market has rallied, I think that's a bit of a straw man argument.
It's unbelievable. And I'm so sick of hearing about this payroll growth. Payroll growth is strong. The wages are strong. Wages are strong. No, they're not. Forget this nonsense. Inflation is 4.4% or 5%. No, it's not. Inflation is 10%. That's just another lie. We could have avoided all this. We could have avoided all the commercial banks collapsing. I mean, all the commercial real estate collapsing. We could have avoided all that. I mean, none of this, having the regional banks, get in trouble. We could have avoided all that. Bankruptcies. Look at the bankruptcies. Personal bankruptcies up 23% in 6 months. Small businesses up 111% in 6 months. Commercial bankruptcies up 80%. 80%. That's in 6 months. That's overall 2022. But everything's okay, they're saying. Yeah, everything's fine. All could have been avoided. See, the problem is with the Federal Reserve, they don't know what they're doing. They've never been right about a thing, the Federal Reserve. Why we got the Federal Reserve is insane. Because it is not independent. I keep telling you, but they keep saying they're independent. They're not independent. They'll never go to Congress and they'll never go to the president and tell, you got to stop. You got to stop. Or I'm quitting. Or I'm going to the New York Times. No, they're apostles. They're apostles. They pick out apostles. This all could have been avoided. Yellen in 2018, when the banks were having problems because they were keeping interest rates too low for too long at zero, the regional banks weren't making much money on loans. So the regional bank said, well, is it all right? We're going to go buy some 10-year, some treasuries so we can make 1.5%. And that'll help us out. Oh, yeah, go ahead and do it. No problem. That was 2018. Now, Biden comes into office in 2021. What's the first thing he does? Stimulus. These crazy stimulus programs. We have no money. We're broke. We have no money. So what do we have to do? We have no revenue for these massive stimulus programs. So
those stimulus programs, because we don't have the money, we're creating major deficits. It's the major deficits that cause inflation. See, you got to pay these deficits off. But when you don't have any money, you don't have the revenue, what do? You have to print. What does that do? Inflation. Now, when you take Powell, okay, and Biden, I mean Powell and Yellen and this guy Jared Bernstein, who I don't know why he listens to him, the president, but he does. He's an idiot. They're apostles. They're apostles of Biden. Aunt B's an apostle. So you take Powell, Aunt B, and you take Jared Bernstein, who's the economic advisor to the president, who he listens to the most. None of them went to him and said, wait a minute, you can't do these stimulus. We don't have the money. We're going to be running big deficits. Do you know what's going to happen if you do that? If we start running these deficits, we got a problem with our regional banks. Because remember what happened. I mean, they should have went to Congress. Never mind the president. He doesn't. He can't even think, that guy. But they should have at least gone to the Congress and said, wait a minute. If he does these stimulus programs and we got to borrow all this, print all this money, inflation is going to get so high, we got to raise rates. And you know what our regional banks, what's going to happen with them? They're going to collapse because they've been buying since 2018 treasuries with yields of 1.2%. But once they start raising rates, they're going to be against a 5% rate. And then we bring in 1.2. They're going to go down.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also, listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grandy and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
I lowered the federal deficit by $1.7 trillion in the first 2 years.
That's not true. It went up to 3.4 trillion. He didn't lower it. What is he talking about? Remember what I just said a moment ago. When he came into office, the biggest problem we had was the stimulus programs. We couldn't pay for it. So when he took office 2021 and he went on this stimulus binge, we had no money. So we had to print it. That causes inflation. See, deficits cause inflation because we don't have money to pay these things. That's where the deficit was at 3.4 trillion. He didn't cut it. He keeps saying that, like he keeps saying the 13 trillion, or he's created 13 million jobs. That's not true. 10 million of those jobs were created before he was even president. But again, all of this could have been avoided if just these people, if they just tell the truth. See, we got to have a Federal Reserve that's independent. Our Federal Reserve is not independent. They're there to hold their job at all costs. They're there to hold their job. So they weren't doing what was right for you and me and for the country. They knew the deficits were going up. They knew they had to raise rates. And here's the killer. They knew that in 2018, these regional banks were buying these treasuries. They were only giving them 1.3%, 1.4%. And now the Fed's creating an environment of 5%. They're going to lose. And the banks were going to go out of business. And we had 3 right off the bat go out of business. But they mask it. They come back and say, no problem. JP Morgan's going to come in. Diamond's going to come in. He's going to take these banks over. See, J.P. Morgan's not owned but you can say they have their shareholders. I understand all that. But in reality, it's a government bank. So instead of coming out and saying, wait a minute, before we do all these deficits, let's sit and talk about it. Do you understand what happened? All these little banks, all these regional banks, they bought all these treasuries, and they're going to be they're receiving 1.4% in an environment of 5%. They're going to go under fast. So we can't do this. We've got to find another way. But instead of what they do, print more money. Say, well, let's just print $2 trillion. Let's print $2 trillion more. Who cares? And when they start going under, it will hold them up. There's about 700 banks right now that should be gone. We've lost, I think, 72% of our banks since, what was it, the 60s? But what they're doing now is they just keep printing and holding these banks up. But they're telling us everything's fine. Now, remember when they take the banks in 2008, 2009? Here's how they grew. Take Bank of America. This is the worst thing that's ever happened. They were at 1.7 trillion. They're now 3.2 trillion in assets. Can you imagine? Citi, that goes at 1.5. Now they're 2.4 trillion. J.P. Morgan was at 2 trillion in 2008. Now 3.7 trillion. They run the country. Those banks are really government banks now. So they're going to go and print, and they don't care how much inflation they create. And then these banks are going to pick up all the failed banks. So you can blame, for all this inflation, you can blame Jared, you can blame Yellen, you can blame Powell, because they weren't being truthful with us. And that's the real problem right there. That's the problem. And so now we're in a real crap storm because people think, oh, everything's going to be fine. No, it's not going to be fine. Now you're starting to see rotation happen. And once they start that rotation, okay, all of a sudden there's not going to be a place to rotate to. And when you got manufacturing at a 14-year low, I mean, this is really bad. And you got production. Our industrial production is the biggest drop since December 2022, calling all kinds of layoffs. Those layoffs are coming. Our corporate defaults, they were borrowing money at 2.5%, 3%, these corporations. Now they're in deep trouble. All these corporations. Unbelievable. Our corporate defaults, record 53% increase in the first half of 2023. That exceeded all of 2022. I'm talking about corporate defaults because of higher interest rates. They can't make their payments. Because remember, they have record corporate debt at $13 trillion. And when you raise rates from 2%, 3%, and you double it to almost 6%, your company can't handle it. And a lot of these commercial loans, one of the biggest commercial buildings in Atlanta yesterday, billionaire owns it. Gave it back to the lenders. Gave it back. So if anybody thinks, everything's going to be okay, it's not going to be okay. It's not. So that's why they'll start telling you any good news that you have, any bad news, think of it as good news, because more bad news we have, they're not going to raise rates. They're going to start cutting rates, and they're going to bail everything out. That's why the market kept going up and up and up. And now you got these tech stocks that are not going to keep going up anymore. You've got to get prepared to short your tech stocks. There's going to be more stocks now setting up patterns ready to short. And if you don't know how to do that, and you're going to just sit there and let your stocks go down, and these fake and these people that are managing your money keep telling you cost average down, that's the plan? Cost average down? Are you nuts? In a downtrend, you're going to cost average down? That's insane. That's insane. So, again, the stocks, and I'm going to go through these stocks with you right now. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Let's take, for example, the stocks that we work with every day, okay? We have J.P. Morgan, okay? Now remember, we bought J.P. Morgan early on, okay? We bought J.P. Morgan going back when it was back here in October of 2022. We bought it again back here in June, okay, of 2022. I'm sorry, June 2023. Somewhere about, I don't know, $136, now $156. And JP Morgan has been a good bank for us. It's about 15% gain. Goldman Sachs is one of our stocks. And Goldman Sachs has not been doing well, but we're doing okay with it. Because why? Because when it started, we made money when we shorted on March 6th. My brother's birthday, March 6th. It was at $358, and we got a nice short off, and it dropped down to around 304. So that little short gave us a 15% gain. So even 10% would be great. That's why you got to learn how to short. So when things like this happen, you're not gonna be hurting. But if you're caught in a corner where you can't short and you're running around trying to find a stock that's going up, there's no place to go. There's no place to go. Now remember, we got into all these oil stocks like Schlumberger, but we shorted them too, and we went long. Once you can short, what a difference in the money you're going to be making. And you're not going to be tied to all this craziness. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day, because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth? How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back. You know, think about it. Why does 85% of people who invest money, especially in 401ks, lose? Because of this.
It has been a story of the Magnificent Seven, but that story is changing, and I think it's not too late to jump in.
No, not too late to jump in. So I just gave you some of the numbers. They're up. Our Meta's up 145%. Nvidia's up 200%. Apple's up 54%. Microsoft 74%. You're going to jump in? These people are crazy. It's insane. What you have to do is learn to rotate in and rotate out. We'll show you how to do that. Just go to my site, philsgang.com. If you're not familiar with it, I mean, it's easy to get to. We'll give you a little bit of help here.
Good afternoon, America. Now, listen, this is Steve here at philsgang.com, and I just, sometimes you want to go out and you want to hand your money to a stockbroker and say, hey, can you invest my money for me? Because I don't have time to, take care of this. I don't really know what I'm doing. And of course, the broker is going to be like, sure, I'll take care of that for you, no problem. And that's great, right? Because it gives you like a bit of freedom and some luxury in your life. However, what happens is they take your account, they shuffle it down under a pile of about 500 people, and then the stock market goes into a crash. And guess what? Your account, your broker who was going to help you, has you at the bottom of that pile, and now they're not going to help you until the market has finally crashed and you've lost almost half of everything that you've worked so hard to gain. If you want to find out how to do that on your own and not deal with the stockbrokers, philsgang.com. That's www.philsgang.com. Give us a call at 877-600-4264. We'll see you on the charts. Back to you, Phil.
All right, thank you. So listen to what I'm telling you. When the markets were going up and you got these big gains, you're staying in your stocks too long. That's why a lot of you lose money. So you got to learn how to rotate out, like we did. We bought tech stocks, got about 26-30%. We don't get out of it totally, but we take a big chunk of the money, and then we go and we find what group is the least popular, and we wait for the setup. You'll see institution money going in. This is the key, and that was the travel sector. So now we went in. So we still kept money in our tech sector in Apple. Now we put money into airlines, Alaskan Air, American Airline, and we took two cruise lines, Carnival Cruise Line and NCLH. And those ran up about about 40%, I think, something like that. And then we took money from them. Now, we didn't get out totally. So remember, we still kept money in tech, kept money to work there, and we kept money to, and now when we had a big rally on these travel stocks, we took money out of those. And then we went to the next sector we thought that was really beaten down and nobody wanted. Oil. So again, we still have in our portfolio tech, Apple. We still have a portfolio, okay, our airlines and so forth. But now we're going to go into oil. And so oil goes up. Schlumberger, about 19%. Then we took money from there and we said, let's put some of the money into buy mining stocks, because those are going to go through the roof, because the dollar's going to just completely go down. And that's what's happening. So the next phase now, because we still have money in Apple, we still have money in Schlumberger, we still have money in our airlines and our cruise lines. Now we're going to, that money that's left, now we're going to take that money, switch our positions, and sell short. So we're always working our money, okay, but we're always working our positions. You just don't go and buy and hold. That's ridiculous. You never make money. So here at Phil's Gang, we'll teach you that. We'll teach you how to rotate and rotate out. But you've got to reach the position after you rotate from Apple to oil to airlines to gold. There's no place to rotate anymore. Now you turn around and start shorting those positions. And 9 out of 10 of you don't want to short. I don't understand that. So you have a perfect pattern setting up. And let me tell you, the builders, the home builders, those are going to be key right there. Those are going to be beautiful. Those are always the last one to go down. We did really well with those. I think it was 2008, 2009, whatever it was. And now we're getting ready. Now, if you want to join our gang, you can work with us on the downside of these stocks. You can work with us selling Apple short, selling the tech stocks short. You can work with us selling the builders short, the airlines short, and at some point the oil. But I think oil is going to go up for a while, because anytime the dollar is down, commodities will still keep continuing. Commodities will still go up. So, and when you learn to short, it's not hard. It really isn't, especially if you have the color-coded chart, because the color-coded chart turns colors. It tells you. Like right now, I'm watching my PHM. Now, we got into PHM, two different positions. The first time we got into PHM was around $58. Now it's at $77, but we already took some profits. So that's about a 30% gain we had in that, okay? So now what we're going to do is watch as this rotates to a short, because everything's going to come down. Because let me tell you what's happening. The deficits are still going to be running hot. Okay? The deficits are going to be running hot. The banks are going to get worse, because the defaults at these banks are going to keep increasing, because people do not have money. They don't have savings. They've already tapped. They've tapped everything. And the people who do have money, they're not going to consume. So you're going to see this economy really tank, because when prices start going down, those who do have money, first of all, the rich, they're not buying anything. They got everything. They got everything they need. They just keep taking their cash and put it in a pile with the rest of their money. But let's say you're a 1%er and you got money. Are you gonna buy a big screen TV when you know it's going to be discounted again the next week and the next week? No. So people stop doing that. And so now you got a real problem. So again, there's no way to look at this and say, well, things are going to get better, or all bad news is good news. No, bad news is getting worse, and it's going to hit our markets. You know, the other thing...
And at the end of the day, the consumer looks immense.
And the other thing is that when you're in oils like Halliburton, okay, you always want to go buy, with the oils, always go by railroads. Always go by railroads. because a lot of these railroads ship all that oil. So, I'll give you an example. We bought Halliburton. I mean, nobody wanted it, Halliburton. And we got it to Halliburton. I think we got it around $32, something like that. And at the same time, we went and we bought. I think it was UNP and NSC, and another one was CNI. And so those have done all except for CNI, but CNI will catch up. But NSC went right up. I'm going to put it right here for me. I'll put it right up, NSC, the railroad. So always when you're buying, this is what you're going to learn here, okay? So NSC, I'm going to pop it up, NSC here. Let's see. Okay. So NSC, what do we got? I'm going to give you a percentage here. Here you go. So NSC went from 218 to 237. So and that's 9%. And let me take my Schlumberger, see what we did with Schlumberger. Schlumberger went from, let's see, SLB, Schlumberger. I mean, it's funny how it works. Schlumberger went from about $47 to $57. So that's around 21%. And these railroads are going up with it. So you can diversify. You can buy some oil or oil service stock at the same time. You hedge that with a railroad stock. I mean, there's so many things you can do. Just to sit there and say, I'm going to buy and hold and be in a 401k, it's impossible. Go to philsgang.com. Go there tonight. Check it out. Click where it says Get Started, and you're going to have some fun. And for 10 days, it's free. Don't charge you a thing.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.